drink something, you don't really need to drink it. It tends to just go from here down to, in this general area right here, called your bladder. And it kind of filled up pretty fast. So, Tommy, you can pick it up from there.
So we're riding down the road, and Owen, I need to stop and use the bathroom again. Owen finally told him, no, Andrew, we're not stopping. We're not using the bathroom. We've stopped 3 times in 2.5 hours.
Question.
We're not going to do it again.
Was there a place to stop on the road?
Plenty of places to stop on the
No,
road.
there wasn't. We were like in the middle jungle.
Actually, there was.
We were on the interstate, if you want to be technical. We were on the interstate.
Just to kind of push forward a little bit, at the time where the action took place, there was a place to stop, but I was already, I'd already commenced
moving
the
right
act,
along.
So.
We told Andrew that either he could hold it or he could put it back where it came from, and those were the 2 choices. So he put up a curtain in the back of the van, kind of like took a beach towel and stuck it up there, and kind of like hovered over into the corner a little bit. And you hear him back there working with it, and you can't see anything. There's just the cover, and you hear, oh my God, oh wow, and then you hear tinkle, 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 tinkle. So we're all sitting there, and Owen kind of turns around, and you just know when people are gonna do stupid things. Sometimes he has this big grin, and he goes, watch this. So he hit the gas real hard and jerked the wheel over to the other side, and you hear Andrew, oh, holy cow! And you hear tinkle, 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 tinkle. And so we're still riding, and Owen hits the brakes. Whoa, you can't do that. That's not in the rules. And all of a sudden you see a pair of hips swiveling out from the back, and there he is. So finally he got done and capped it back on, and believe it or not, he passed it to the front.
And who was sitting in the front?
Becky was sitting in the front.
And I got at the bottom.
My good friend Tommy forgot to mention, in the process of the van actually swaying back and forth, the curtain had fallen, and when I was back there, the van's the hood was this way, and the window was big van window, right? Not tinted. There were several cars coming this way, and I kind of had to do one of these things, I did finish, and the bottle was pretty full when I passed it up.
You saw passing cars doing this. Oh!
It was kind of interesting. I do think that was probably the best story that we had since we were there. One of the best. Okay.
The best one was Andrew and I were at Camp St. Christopher. How many people have been at Camp St. Christopher? Okay, we were at Camp St. Christopher, and while we were at Camp St. Christopher, if any of you have ever been to the conference center, in the main building there's a big conference center. Maybe the room's maybe about the size of this room. Big room.
Okay.
Everybody else.
All right. Let me tell you.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
This is a good one. I forgot. Thank you, Tom. Okay, conference center. Set it all up. Brand new conference center. $multi-million. $2 million, $3 million.
More importantly, new carpets.
Yeah, new carpets. Everything. So me, Tommy, it's like, man, there's nothing to do because it was just 3 guys. What do we do? So Owen's like, well, we got this big screen over here. We'll watch a movie. Rudy. And we're gonna watch Rudy. So Tommy and I were just chilling out, waiting and stuff like that. And then we just got this great idea. This brilliant idea to go and get these whipped cream bottles that were just sitting there, just calling our names. So we go over to the table and pick them up. Like, hey.
2 whipped cream bottles each.
Yeah, 2 each. Okay, so the front door is over here, and there's a wall that backs them up, so we're on either side. But Oeland,
with the lights on.
Oeland, our dear friend, decides to feed us. And what we didn't know is the fact that we had brownies in this big plate. So we walked in the front door, of course, we commenced with the spraying. Mind you, it was a brand new conference center, brand new carpet. Camp St. Christopher, Mr. Kelleher was there. Okay. So anyway, it takes off. We're spraying him. Owen gets a little bit agitated. If you know anything about Owen, he's got kind of a temper, just a little bit. So he got pretty upset. So in the commencing of the spraying, Owen takes the brownies and shoves them in Tommy's face and all over his body. Now, at that time, I got pretty spooked, so I took off running. But,
Owen recovered my whipped cream cans.
Yeah.
And so as Andrew's running across in front of him, Owen's spraying at him, but missing him the whole way across the room.
And the time that I'm running, I'm kind of running, but I neglected to take my finger off the nozzle. So at the same time he's spraying me, I'm spraying every seat.
And there's no lights.
Oh, there's nothing going on. Of course, everybody outside's hearing all this big ruckus. So when it's all said and done, I had brownie and whipped cream we all did. The place was a complete wreck. I mean, it was everything, all over everything. So, and then the cool thing about it, who was it that came in the room? No. Who was the girl that came in the room? There was a girl that was in our EYC.
Oh.
It might have been Maggie.
It might have been.
Okay, well anyway, I think it was Maggie that came in the front doors. And instead of saying, oh, wow, you know, kind of late, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning at the camp, you know, it's kind of quiet time, screams, oh my God, what happened? So, you know, at that point, you see lights flickering on everywhere. And Tommy's dad comes out, and we're trying to clean up.
Well, it was like there was whipped cream and everything everywhere. So what we did was, like, the shirts were just covered in like the whole front was covered from brownies from Oeland doing this number. So we took our shirts off and everything. We're in there, had like napkins and scrub brushes and Ajax and any kind of bathroom cleaner that they had in the bathrooms. So we're on our hands and knees with these cleaners with no shirts on and like, you know, shorts and stuff, like bathing suits. And my dad walks in and he's like, what are you guys doing? So Owen goes, WrestleMania! And drops me and, you know, we're all wrestling. My dad's like, yeah, good, be quiet, thanks. And he went to bed. And we cleaned up for 2-3 hours. I mean,
it was probably about 5 o'clock the next morning. But the thing about it is we had to wake up the next morning for church, which was fun because we were all really tired and we smelled like brownies because we didn't have enough time to shower. This church was pretty good. It was funny. That was not quite as funny as the yes, question.
Does everybody here know who Oeland is?
No.
No.
Oeland was our youth minister when we were in high school, probably junior year, Mike, my junior year, your sophomore year, up to the start of senior year for me.
Right.
Junior year. Real cool guy. He went to Talladega, but now he's in Spartanburg. No, Somerville. He's in Somerville now. Got a wife, Dana, and a kid, Oeland Jr. Good guy, real good guy. We miss him a lot. He did a lot for us, And I mean, granted, you know, we're not the spitting image of, you know, the quintessential collegiate Christian, but he did a lot for us. We were really lucky. And Becky learned a lot from him, and I'm sure you learned a lot from her. So keep that in mind. We all learn from the best.
Owen also encouraged me to break my kneecap.
Yeah, we have lots of stories, and we could go on several.
Tell us a good 4-wheel drive story, Tommy.
All right, we went back in the woods, and I used to have a 4-door Jimmy, and I went back in the woods with the Jimmy, and it was only 2-wheel drive, and we were just kind of like, you know, cruising around and stuff, just kind of hitting the trails, and decided we could make it through the ditch. So we tried to make it through the ditch, but it was kind of too steep for a 2-wheel drive. So it got sunk in the middle, and the whole thing started sinking. And so it was like halfway up the doors, and I was getting pretty worried. And then it stopped about halfway up the doors, but we couldn't open them and close them. So we called Oeland to come out there and get us. And Oeland got out there and pulled us out and hooked his Pathfinder up to it and had the rope. You know, my truck's here and his truck's here. This is the rope. And he started pulling, and he wasn't always the brightest guy, so it started slipping and started pulling him this way instead of pulling me out. And when it started pulling this way, he didn't exactly let go. So it went all the way around, and he came around like next to me, so that I was stuck here, and he was stuck sideways right there. And we kind of had the same situation with both trucks, and it wound up being 4 or 5 people out to get everybody out that day. It was really funny, but not quite as humorous when I got home though.
Yeah, Owen was the type of person we call him up all the time, and we used to. A big thing was going on the boulevard, and after a fun-filled day of church volleyball, and we'd go on the boulevard and just make complete idiots out of ourselves in this Pathfinder, which is, you know, we never do that. So what we do is we open up the back and roll down every window, and instead of, you know, blasting the homie stuff, you know, we turn it to oldies. You know, and we'd ride down the street pumping some 4 tops or something like that. We had several black people that were pretty upset with us after we left, but it was fun. I mean, we just did stuff like that. We always used to, you know, go to the mall and stuff together. I mean, and actually, the last year he was here, we started doing stuff on. What was that morning? What morning did we do? Tuesday morning. Was it before class? I don't remember. Okay, well, we did like Tuesday morning meetings and stuff right before class and stuff. That was after you were gone. Which were cool, so. Yeah, we've got.
Do you guys have any questions for these guys?
Oh, no.
No. No, I mean, seriously, do you?
Tell us another story.
No.
Well, we were at Lakewood Campground one day and we were playing volleyball. It was like big, like beach volleyball, like a tournament thing, and we kind of just played to have fun. It wasn't real serious or anything. And these two girls were there, and one of them was all right. She was real nice and everything. And the other one was like really just drop dead gorgeous. Like she was just this incredible looking girl. Like she walked through and everybody was like, wow, I know we're at a Christian volleyball tournament, but look at her, you know. And so she comes kind of strutting through and eventually makes her way over to talking to Andrew. So she's talking to Andrew, got her little tank top on and everything, blah, 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 you know, flirting with him and all. And we're all like, go ahead, go, you know. So finally, she takes off her tank top, she's got a belly button ring, and Andrew like flipped out. He was like, oh my God, she's got a belly button ring, get her away. And she's like chasing him around. He's like, no, no, running. She's absolutely beautiful. And Andrew's like, no, get away. Oh, she's got a belly button ring. Oh no.
Oh, I got a good female story for you, Tom. Okay. Every time we go on a church retreat, big one we used to go on was Fun in the Sun down in Jekyll Island, Georgia. And Becky was there for the first one. And I think Becky is going to remember this one. We met up with the Florence crew. And, yeah, we met up with the...
Careful, because I still see her once in a while.
Yeah, I do too. So we met up with the Florence crew, giving each other crap all the time. And it was a kind of a small group. And Tommy and I were pretty good friends. Still are, But we were riding down there, and once we get there, we meet up with them. Florence group's really cool. And then especially, this one, brunette girl, her name was Elizabeth. Apparently, Tommy was a little bit, a little bit of a crush on her. Not much. So we never saw Tommy the entire weekend. We had confessional kind of talks. What time? About 10:30?
10:30 at night, yeah.
Yeah, 10:30 at night when they were supposed to do room checks and everything. I'm like, wow, where's Tommy? And he'd brush in, all sweaty. Oh man, it's like 11 o'clock. Where you been, Tom? Oh, nowhere. Nowhere. So the whole weekend, or the whole week, we were looking for Tom and couldn't find him. So finally, kind of put two and two together after about the second day. So we were all sitting around. It was probably a pool or something like that. It was a quintessential Tommy comment. Elizabeth was like, she was really pretty, but Tom. So we were sitting around the pool, and Elizabeth was like, man, I gotta use the restroom, I'll be right back. Tom's like, oh, I'll go with you. She's like, I'm gonna go to the restroom, I'll be right back. Tom's like, no, I'll go with you.
No, I only said it once, and then I realized what I said, and I was like, never mind. No.
So after that, I kind of turned around, and was kind of doing my own thing. I turned back around, and daggone it, Tommy wasn't gone. So was Elizabeth. And that kind of went on the entire week. And that always was a running joke with Big Tomo, because he seemed to find his fair share of females and stick with him whenever he was on his little excursions. And Oeland and I got a big kick out of that one.
The funniest was when we went to...
Feel free to throw in a story. I don't want to leave you out.
We went to Fripp Island one time, and I was legitimately lost trying to find our cabin number. And I went to the wrong cabin. I'm knocking, and the people lived there. It was their permanent residence. They answered the door, and I was like, I'm staying here tonight. They were like, no, you're not staying here tonight. I was like, no, this is my room. Look, 52. So they explained it to me, and sent me across the thing. Well, it took me literally like an hour and a half to find them. And they were doing the late night thing. And it started at 10:30, and I got there at 12. And they were like, Tommy, where have you been? And this one kid, Van Swaim, that was with us, that was never the brightest kid, was like, I saw Tommy. He was having sex with some girl in the back of the church van. I said, no, I absolutely was not. I was like, there wasn't even a girl around. I was like...
Becky, where was he? Where was he that night?
No, this was at Fripp Island.
Yeah, I would give him a hard time. It was just a running joke all the time.
And we used to pick on Oeland that he couldn't get girls, and then he found Dana, and everybody was like, ooh.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time.
I want to hear a story from Nick.
Yeah, Nick, tell me.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
All right, it was like,
Let's keep it PG.
It is.
It's PG.
This
We
is
won't
where it's
tell
like,
it,
it's
really.
like G-rated or something.
Okay.
All right, it's like my 10th grade year, like 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. And we were going skiing and stuff. And like first day, I didn't know what I was doing. I went skiing and everything. And I would never saw anybody from the group the entire time that we were there. And so it's like 7 o'clock at night or something. I'm just walking around. I'm like, where the heck is everybody, man? And I'm just like walking around. I'm like, they're not here. And I go out to the parking lot and like the van's gone and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not cool, man. And so like I go back to one of the shops and I call up the house because like we had the number for like the Keller's house. And I'm like, is everybody there? It's like, yeah. I'm not. And they're like, where are you, man? We've been looking for you everywhere. It's like, okay, I'm in a little shop thing at the ski slope. Like, you're still back there? Man, where have you been? And so, like, they had to come and get me, and I was like, they had left 2 hours before. So, that wasn't very fun, man.
Well, we were riding on the ski slopes and stuff, or on the lifts, going back up the mountain. It would always start with Nick, but we never end up with him. He'd start and fall, and we were all taking off like trying to be speed demons and all. And so Nick, we'd always lose him, but we'd go back up the hill, and there's Nick on his back. I'm not picking on him.
Which kind of started the truth? I'm a terrible skier kid. Third day was like the last day of skiing or whatever. And like I'm just skiing. I'm like, okay, everybody's going on the round robin, It's like I'll go with them. And I'm skiing and stuff. Like everybody left me behind. And so I'm going down. This is like straight steep course and stuff. I'm just going like really fast because I don't know how to slow down or stop at all. Okay, my way of stopping is just to fall down, go by, eventually stop after a slide a few hundred meters and stuff. But like I see this guy in black, just like coming over and stuff. And I'm like, what the, and all of a sudden I hit like this ice. I go through the air, do like 2 flips, land, like poles just fly away. I'm going down the mountain, I'm like, ah! My skis hit like a piece of ice. They go beneath my back, cut my back, and like I fall on my face, like roll a few times, and skis just flop off, and there's way back here and stuff. And I'm just going like head first down the mountain on my back, and like I finally stop. I'm just like, and like finally like the guy that I saw in black, he like comes over and he's like, hey man, are you all right? And it was like the ski patrol guy. And he's like, man, I was coming over to tell you to slow down some. He's like, yeah, I probably should have done that. And so like, he's like, well, you all right? I'm like, no. So like, he's like, well, hang on, I'll go get your stuff. I need to go and get my hat and my poles and my skis and like everything that like fell off of me during this fall. I mean, I like looked and like halfway up the mountain and stuff. I'm like down near the bottom. I'm like, dang. And so like, he's like, do you need to ride down? I was like, that might be good. And so like he had to carry me down to the bottom and stuff. And like I saw Miss Kelleher and she had to like take me back to the ski place. That was fun. In the meantime, the rest of us were like, look, the hurt skier.
We're like, oh, there's Nick again.
Yeah, that did not feel good.
So we had a kid run off the side of the mountain with a ski truck.
What do you mean?
The best part.
He had never been, insisted he didn't need lessons. I said, all right, go ahead, have a good time, stud. So he got up to the top of the thing, and the ski tip's kind of hanging over the edge. I said, you sure you want to start with a black diamond? Yeah, I can do it. All right, fine, go, I'll watch behind you. So I was like, going to go behind him, make sure he doesn't get hurt. So you see him go, and he tucks like he wants to go faster. We did that for a second, and then you see, skis everywhere, pulls everywhere, and then all of a sudden you see him jump, and I was like, man, he's skied before, he's just messing with us. Nope, he was on his way off the side of the mountain. Like literally, in the air, hit a tree, spun, went down, hit a rock, bounced off the rock, bounced below the rock, and was down there in the snowdrift. Rocco.
Remember when like you went off the side and Andrew went to get you and then like someone hit a tree or something and both of you guys
it was you went. We were skiing around. You were on like those little skis or something, or you were on your regular skis, and we were jumping or something, and you jumped and landed in this big bed of trees.
No, you jumped and landed in the big bed of trees.
I'm serious. I can prove it. You're about to be wrong.
Okay.
Andrew rides down and jumps and goes, woo, right off the side of the mountain, lands in a snowdrift. And he's landed in the drift like this, and the only thing that's sticking out is this leg and from here up, and that's it. Everything else is under the snowdrift, and one ski sticking straight up in the air.
So being the big hero, Tommy's like, I'll save you. Slides down the
I was gonna spray him. I had no intention of saving him. I was gonna like, give him
don't
the
worry,
old-
I'll come get you. Right there, right on top of me. So we're both caught in ski drift.
What actually, I came down and tried to spray him and be cool, and I went, ah! And as soon as I hit, my foot hit like a rock or a root or something, and it sent my whole body, like with my neck pointing straight down, my feet pointing straight up, and I just went boom, bam, right next to him. So the two of us were sitting in the snow.
So with no way of getting out, and everybody's like riding by us. Ah!
Yeah.
Bye! That was pretty classic. And then the other classic moment was we were skiing. If you can believe that. It was a night ski, and you know how sometimes on a night ski they close off other slopes. They turn off the lights and close them off. But
Which means do not get down.
Right. And actually we were with Nada's husband, a good role model. We were riding down. We were, skiing and stuff.
Captain Blue.
We had this great idea. You're like, we ought to ride down that slope and see what it's like with the lights on.
And of course he can let you go alone.
Oh, yeah, well, this is what he said. This is what he said, and I quote, we're all just like, yeah, we want to ride down. And so Mike comes down, like, Mike, we're going to ride down the other slope with the lights off. You want to come? He's like, typical Mike answer.
So the answer at the bottom of the hill after we had done it, though, was, good idea.
So we're all like skiing along, and then there was a little cutover. So we cut over, we were riding down. It was fun.
And the ski patrol came after you.
Well, people from the ski lift were yelling, we're going to tell ski patrol, we're going to tell them you're down there, you're going to have your lift ticket removed.
They were like,
we yelled
what?
back up at them, this is the last run of the night, they're closing the lifts, we don't care.
So of course, we call Mike Captain Blue Dart, because that's a whole other story in itself. But
Who went down it? It was like the two of y'all.
it was a bunch of us. It was like 6 or 7 of the guys.
There was
There's no
me and Andrew, Casey King, Matt Strickland, Billy Tote, and Blue Dart.
There was a lot of us. And so we went down, and we were all like giving each other high fives. And of course, Mike, in his infinite wisdom, goes, "Don't tell Nada."
So Tommy goes in. We're not supposed to tell you, but.
But I'm going to tell you, but she
This
got
was so
checked,
cool.
so
We
you
gotta
give
tell
her-
you.
No, because see, Nada was like anal.
The in charge.
I guess you would call it.
I was the responsible in charge.
Okay, well, we had 2 bands. We had the church band and we had the blue band. Which,
And there was 8 people in the blue one, and I'm with the U-Haul and 30 people.
yeah,
And
so
I-
of course
That's
Nada's
true.
passing out. But see, the thing about it is she was really bad before he started. So of course,